Hello and welcome to my 7th episode on game design and processing. And today, I did the coding already for this episode, so we're just going to go over how I did everything. So from our last episode, we have this main menu screen, and then when you hit this, you go into the game. So what I did is I added the background, which you should know how to do from the last episode, and then I added a hero in the middle, and you can see a faint little square, and that's the waypoint dot about where it's trying to move. So if I right click anywhere on the screen, it's going to start to move in that direction, and that's what I have set up so far. So when you right click, the waypoint box comes up over here, and your hero moves towards that direction. And just because the way I did it, the farther you click away, the faster it moves, and then the closer it gets, the more it slows down. And that kind of makes for an interesting game dynamic, because if someone's in a sticky situation in the game, they're going to have to like move their mouse way over here to get out of there. They can't just do small clicks. Like if your click is too close, it won't even move. And that's just, there's nothing that you can really do about that. It's just part of the game mechanic, and every game has its difficult parts. We actually should probably change the waypoint dot, because it's kind of hard to see in there, but you can get the picture of where it's trying to move. You can still faintly see it. But anyway, we'll move back into how I did it. So I added a couple variables. I did another P image for that background, and then I added hero X, which is the position on the X axis of the hero, hero Y, which is the position of the Y axis, or the position of the hero on the Y axis, and the move to X and move to Y is the position in which the point is trying to move to, and it's the position of the waypoint, the position in which your hero is trying to move to. So what we have right now is we have hero X and hero Y set up to half the screen size so that it starts in the center, and then we have the move to X and move to Y set equal to the hero, just so that it's not moving anywhere at the beginning. You don't really want it to move. And then this is where we have most of our code added. We have the load image that we called field up here. So we loaded the image and we set the same way that we did with the background. You should know how to do that. And then also we added a rectangle, or not a rectangle, we added a sphere. I originally had it as a rectangle, but it kind of looked weird as it moving across the screen, so I changed it to an ellipse. And so now it's an ellipse. It has a fill color of yellow and a stroke color of yellow, just so that it pops on the screen. You always want to be able to locate where your hero is on the screen. And then it has the location, which is hero X, hero Y, and the size, which is 2020. And then we have, this is our motion equation. It's the hero X plus the move to X minus the hero X divided by 50. So pretty much if you've ever done anything in algebra, you would know like rise over run slope is pretty much what we're doing here. We're taking 1 point, subtracting it from the other, and then we're dividing it by 50 to give it, because if we didn't divide it by 50, we would get it wouldn't get somewhat of a fluid motion. As you see, it's not a fluid motion. That's just because the way processing works and the way they have it set up. But so you divide it by 50 to give it little increments, and that's why at the beginning it jumps further, just because it's dividing a bigger number, so you're going to get bigger jumps. But once it starts dividing a smaller number, as that difference decreases, that their jumps are going to get smaller, and at some point not even noticeable. And then we did the same thing for hero Y. So we have hero Y equation set up, hero Y, it's pretty much the same thing. And then we have a fill. This is the waypoint, and so we have the fill. It's green with a 25 alpha, so that you can see through it. And then the stroke is the same color with the same alpha. Alpha is translucency. I think it's yeah, or transparency. So that's the word I was going for. Rect is the rectangle for it, and then it's move to X, move to Y. And so this is pretty much where our action comes from with the mouse click. We have when the mouse is pressed, and then it's also going to check, well, which mouse button did you press. If you press the right one, then it's going to be move to X is going to equal whatever position the mouse X was at, and move to Y, whatever the position is going to be equal to whatever position the mouse was on the Y-axis. And so this comes back into here and moves the waypoint rectangle to the position that you just right-clicked at. And then it comes over here and it takes this and subtracts it. It takes away the hero's position already, and then divides it by 50 to give you that to give you that motion towards the your waypoint. So as you can see, when we load up, if we hit our button, the background image loads. We have the waypoint at the center. It's actually no longer in rec mode center, so you can see it's slightly off. So I do have to go throw that back in. I knew I had that in for a reason. And so it starts moving towards there, and you can see it slowly decreases in speed, and then if you click really far away, it goes really fast, and that's just because of the difference in the division by 50. If we had this set up based on the computer's clock, which I tried to do in the first place, but it only does seconds, and milliseconds are too fast, and there's no really in-between area there, so I couldn't really do that. Again, if you want fluid animations, I would research more into that, and maybe I'll do that in a future episode. But as you can see, as it gets closer, it gets minuscule because the difference between there is being divided by 50. So it will never actually approach the waypoint. It's an asymptotic approach to the waypoint, and it's going to slow down, and then if you go, it's going to speed up further. So that's pretty much how it works. If you want to slowly speed down, make it more of a difficult game, you can. If you want to have difficulty, you can throw a variable in there and then have them set their difficulty at the beginning. So now, if I click over here, it's going to be slower. And then if I want it to be faster, I can divide it by a number like 10. Show you that. And you can see that when this loads up, if you click here, it's going to go a lot faster. So if you had easy modes, you could set that up to run like that. But I found 50 is a good middle number for that. And I just want to add this rec mode center back in, just so that waypoint is at the actual center. Is that the actual location which is supposed to be at? Yeah, now it is. You can see. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, and come back next time where we move on our hero's attacking abilities.